I made my swimming pool go from this to this using AI, and the first step is to get the leaves out of the swimming pool. This is how I used artificial intelligence to help me get my pool clean rapidly. So I went to Twitter, which has their version of artificial intelligence called Grok, and it says here, ask it anything. And I went in and I'm going to copy and paste some text here. But this is the first thing I told Grok, how frustrated I was, where I spent $200 and basically no improvement from my swimming pool. And then I went back to the swimming pool store and they wanted me to spend the same amount of money a week later when the first dose of the same chemicals didn't even work. So by telling it that I was frustrated and started with $200, here's what it says with a step-by-step plan. Day one, how much to spend on it. Use a leaf skimmer, get the leaves out. It's a big deal. Get the leaves out. And then either get a test kit or you can take it to a pool supply store. Many of them do test it for free. And then it says here, shock the pool. So do that, and basically it gives you all these steps. Tips to save money if it doesn't work, and immediate actions today. The next thing I did was how many gallons is a swimming pool. So I dropped that in right here, and based on this information, because it's not a rectangular swimming pool, it's kind of tricky to calculate it. So it made some calculations here, and you see how it shows you the math, shows the math, notes, adjustments, and basically says it's a 40,000 gallon swimming pool. I thought it was 50,000, so maybe I've been pouring too much chemicals in it. Then the next thing I did, you tell Grok everything. And I keep this thread, and down here you can see these symbols. Here you can copy the text, you can forward it, and I would copy and paste this for weeks on end because it took me several weeks to get my pool clean. But I would type in thoughts and questions like this. The pool has 2 skimmers and a drain. All 3 can be used. Now here, I'm going to drop in what type of pool pump it is. And if I click up here, this is the type of pool pump I have. It's a 3 horsepower pool pump, almost 9,000 gallons per hour capacity, and it's connected to this Hayward pool filter. So right now, I'm dropping in some text to tell it that it's this type of a pool pump, and it's a Hayward filter. And so I drop it in, I hit Grok something, and so what it will do is Grok's going to go look up this pool filter and pool pump, and I noted that it's half full of sand. And look at this, it says the filter is partially effective, and I don't have any channeling. I asked, did the filter need more sand? And here's something that was interesting. It says the flow rate's designed for 98 gallons per minute. And what's interesting is I think the pump was too powerful for this filter. Right now it says add some more sand to it, and is the filter the right size for the pool? And it says that it is the right size for the pool, so I don't have too big or too small. And down here, is the pump the right size? And it does the math. And basically it says it's oversized for the pool. It's blowing water through the filter so fast, it's usable if I reduce the flow, and I do happen to have a flow limiting valve on it. So now that I've given it that extra information about the pool, it goes through and gives me all this information, and I'm not going to read it to you. And see. So then I drop in this question. What's the next step for adding chemicals? And it goes through its calculations. Should I add sand, liquid shock, or other chemicals? The next best step is the filtration. So it recommends I go buy more sand. Make sure the leaves are out. The 3 horsepower pump exceeds the limit. Instead of 98 gallons per minute, I'm strangling it with almost 150 gallons per minute. And it says right here, the 90-degree ball valve. And so, thinks it's a good idea. And then I tell Grok. The reason why you see this button down here is Grok's not finished giving me the first answer before I give it the second answer. There it goes. So now it's ready. So I tell it that at 5 p.m. I set the valve to 45 degrees just to let it know the status. And notice that this string of back and forth with Grok, it's been, this is a continuous string that can go on for days. And every day I would go down and clean the filter, come back, give it a report. I would use a test strip. I would type in the test strip results. And every day I would get, sometimes several times a day, I would get this up-to-date information, spending priority. And here I'll drop in another question here as soon as it's finished. Here's my next question. I am wondering, will restricting the flow on the pump hurt it? It says don't close it beyond 80 degrees or starve it, but 45 degrees is safe. Okay, and now that the pool is basically fairly clear after several weeks of doing this, I tell it that I have a pool heater and a salt cell. And it comes up with comments about affecting the salt cell. Here I tell it that it rained 2 inches in the past 24 hours. And now you'll see what its response is. Here it asked if I added sand. And you can see some of the questions I asked it. How much debris was in the pool robot cleaning filter? What's the temperature? How much will it cost to heat the pool? Here is the cost to heat the swimming pool, and $36 or $67 or $61.